Hello, beautiful, wonderful art students. It's Miss Cherry coming today for a second week art tutorial. The first thing you're going to need to do is go to your curriculum box and your art bag and find this. It says negative, it's a lime green piece of paper. It says negative space shadows, and it has two pieces of 11 by 17 paper attached. You're also going to need to find a pencil. And then, this is the really important part, you're going to need to find something in or around your house that's going to create a distinctive shadow, alright? Let me show you what that means. So, for this project, you're going to need to be in a really well-lit area. So, outdoors is best, and it's really sunny outside, so try your very hardest to get outdoors to do this project. Because it's going to produce, one, the best sun, and it's just really healthy for you. So, try to get outdoors, but if you can't get outdoors, be by a window or a lamp or a flashlight or something that's going to produce a lot of light shining on your paper. So for items, here are examples of things that are good to get. So this potted plant of tulips that I found here on my deck is really good for this project. It's what I'm going to be using for my example. And it's because all of these little holes and shadows, you can see my hand back here. That means light is going to get through all those shadows, all of those little areas, and create lots of little shadows, and that's what we want. Another example is something like this toy, this fire truck. So it has a very distinctive shadow. It has lots of holes and a shape, and this right here is going to create really nice shadows, okay? Something else you could get is even this little house decoration is going to produce, obviously, a distinct shadow in this shape, okay? This is less ideal than something like this plant because this only has a couple of places where light's going to shine through, rather than this plant has a ton of places, okay? Another cool one you can get in your kitchen is this colander. So obviously, this is going to produce really cool shadows because it has holes that produce lots of light, and even just right now you can see the shadows. Another idea is, this is a really fun one, you can go outside just in your yard, your backyard, front yard, your neighbor's yard, wherever, and find a tree, a bush, a plant, a flower, something like that that's creating a really cool shadow, and just spread out a blanket on the ground, put your paper on top of the shadow, and then trace it. So whether it's a tree that has a lot of light shining through it, or a flower, just a single flower, or lots of flowers, there's tons of things around you in nature, and these are the things that I'm actually going to prefer that you use. Something that has naturally a lot of light coming through, like things in nature. So once you figure out what you're going to use for your shadow, get your piece of paper and your item. So I'm sitting here on a table, so it's really convenient. The light is coming this direction, as you can see. And so I'm going to set up my plant exactly how I want to trace it. So I'm just kind of turning it until I find a nice shadow pattern. And then I'm going to place my shadow down on the table where it's producing the shadow. So let me show you what that looks like. So there we go. Right here, you can see my piece of paper is right here. The plant is over here on the side. Let's get that out of the way. And I have placed my paper so that most, if not all, of the plant is on it. Okay? So once I have my thing, I have lots of dirt on my paper now, but you're just going to start tracing. So you can trace from any spot. And just trace around your whole paper, being as careful as you can to get every little detail, alright? So harsher light, like the sun, is going to create better and more distinct shadows. Softer light is going to create softer shadows. So if you're using something like a lamp, it's going to be softer light. So try your hardest to try to get a lot of detail in those shadows, okay? What we're doing here is actually called negative space. So what we're tracing around is the shadow of an item, and what's in between in the white spot is the negative space, and it's because nothing is there, okay? Word negative, nothing, and there's lots of space, and it's a shadow, okay? So it's very self-explanatory, and it's very fun You can do multiple of these with different items. They're really great to do with young students also. But I wanted you guys to do them because I know we haven't really talked about negative space that much. And this is a really good example of what negative space is and isn't, okay? So just continue. I'm not really trying my hardest to trace these because it's just an example, but you guys know that everything is graded on effort, participation, and attitude. And so if I see that you put lots of effort into your shadows, I'm going to be happy with it. Okay, if I see that you didn't put too much effort, you didn't choose a really great item, then you're not going to get as many points, okay? And this project is worth 10 points, just like the last one. Alright, and did you see what happened right there? I don't know if you can see it, but when I went to draw, I'm right-handed, so when I went to put my hand on the right side of the paper to draw, immediately the entire shadow went away, and now it's just my hand. So, in order to do this, you're going to have to kind of come at it with different angles, or even stand around your paper and move your body in different areas to get the best shadows, okay? So I don't want you just going around the outside. I want you to get all of these inside spaces also. Even the littlest little places where light's coming through, okay? Alright guys, so once you have your shadows done, and remember mine's just a rough outline, so yours is going to be much better than this. Once you have your shadow outline done, you're going to take crayons, color pencils, markers, anything that you have in your curriculum box or that your siblings have, and you're going to color not this inside spot, but you're going to color the outside, okay? And you're going to leave this as negative space, okay? So everything that you're going to color, and this is like literally the roughest. You guys know how to color well. I've seen your coloring pages on Mrs. Moore's wall, so don't disappoint me when you're coloring. But you're going to color not the inside, but this outside area, okay? And you're going to leave your item, which was once positive space, which this, in general, is positive space. You're going to leave your item as now negative space, and this is now the positive space. All right? So that's super simple, and I know you guys can do it, but I know you can do it well, and I want to see some really beautiful drawings, okay? So I want you to do at least one, but if you do a second one, then you can get some extra credit points. So if you do your first one really well, you're going to get 10 points, okay? If you would do another one, either on the back of your first paper or on your second paper, you can get 5 points extra credit, okay? You guys, this has been a pretty short project and a pretty easy week, but it's because I know you guys are in your second week of distance learning. You might be a little overwhelmed, and I didn't want to come at you with a huge, difficult project. So, take your time on this project, you guys, and have fun with it. I hope that you're all doing well with your distance learning and that you guys are still staying in contact with your friends and teachers. Remember, I am always reachable on Google Classroom or Parent Square, and I can reply fairly quickly, even within a half hour, because I have nothing to do. So do not hesitate to ask me any questions or message me about anything. If you guys have trouble with this project, let me know. If you guys thought this project was too easy, let me know too. And if you have any ideas for projects you would like to do later on in our distance learning, you can let me know also. You guys, I hope you have a great week with your family and your siblings, and stay happy, stay healthy, and I love you. I'll see you next week.